Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Shino Kim, who teach about academic writing, research and writing. And today actually I'm gonna teach about how to write essay or report or sometimes called thesis. In the PhD level, maybe going to be called dissertation. So actually there are a lot of writing when you study in the United States. So there are actually some specific way of writing in the U.S.A. when you study. Research paper writing process. Today actually I'm a little bit teaching about how to write your research paper and also process. The purpose of this class is to identify and examine the component essential to planning and executing academic research writing assignment in United States of America. Especially I write on USA. That means little bit actually different way of writing a research paper. Especially when you are in Asia, especially, I'm actually coming from South Korea, and mostly the research paper in my country, when I was in university in South Korea, usually the research paper is considered of a good summary of the topic. So we go to the library and try to summarize thoroughly, and usually the professor give us good grade. That's what how can we get good grade from the university when I study in South Korea. But unfortunately, as soon as I came to United States in order to study, and I was accepted some university in New Jersey, and I get in trouble. I have a lot of headache for several years because I don't know how to write a research paper. So, by the way of writing a research paper in USA is totally different from your country, especially some Asian country, okay? So that's why I have a very, very difficult time to study. There is one guy with umbrella. He looks like depressed. That was around 10 years ago. It was me. Well, because I don't know how to write a thesis. I don't know how to write a research paper. Nobody teaching me about that. But so this is very good actually opportunity for you to learn how to write a report, research paper in United States. So already I say I have very hard time. It was very hard time in USA to study and writing a research paper. I have a headache. I have very hard time. Even around me, I saw so many students. They give up and back to their country. Even in California, one day I writing a recommendation. One student for specific university, and he was accepted to that university. But I heard that he back to Korea because it is extremely hard to writing a paper. He doesn't know how to write a research paper because usually in the master degree or doctor degree, actually every degree actually requires homework, okay? When you go to the classroom, usually you take the final exam, midterm exam, but most professor request you writing a book report and theme paper, term paper. Term paper means actually academic research paper. So they don't know. They just that's why many Asian students they just summary. They try to read some book or sometimes the dictionary, and sometimes also using some material from the website, and they just summarize and give it to the professor. But usually the professor give maybe C grade, or sometimes F or D or C grade, because there is no creativity or there is no your opinion. Especially in United States, when you're writing a research paper, you should actually deliver your thinking, your opinion. What do you think about it? That is very, very important. That's why I'm teaching about this one. Research paper writing process. Students will able to, through this class, you can identify and conceptualize the essential step in the research paper writing process. So today, actually focusing on writing process. Number 2, access valuable campus resources for an article to help at various stages of writing process. I'm not sure how many of you actually visit the library. Actually, library, especially when you visit the library in big school, it was a huge building. Only libraries looks like the size of university. So there are thousand books there. Now in the modern day, you can also find a lot of material from the website. So in this actually process, I recommend you to visit your library because you need book in order to writing a paper, research, especially research paper. You need a lot of book, you need a lot of article. Especially there are a lot of academic magazine in the library, monthly magazine, and there are a lot of actually research paper. It called article in there. So you need that material. That's why you need to go to the library. Number 3, use time management strategy to plan for the successful and the timely completion of a research paper project. I actually finished my PhD degree at Drew University in New Jersey. When I writing on my dissertation, PhD dissertation, actually it takes 2 or 3 years. What? Writing only one dissertation around 300 pages, it takes for you writing maybe 2 or 3 years. Especially English is not your first language, and sometimes writing in English 1-page research paper, it takes maybe several hours. So in order to writing around 300 pages, definitely it takes more than 2 years. But through this actually class, you are only actually learning about maybe minimum 5 pages to maybe around 15 pages actually a research paper. Usually the faculty, the professor actually required around 5 through 10 pages research paper. That's why you also learn how to write it. Okay, number 1, research paper writing process. Number 1, assignment clarification. So that means especially when the professor actually give you some item. Okay, you must write this. You must deal with this topic, and you should write your term paper, your academic research paper. So you should know the definition of academic thesis. As I said, you should provide your own opinion. Usually, unfortunately, there is no discussion when I study in South Korea. Usually, the professor teaches, and we just write it down, and there is no objection. Okay, there is no discussion in the classroom. But as soon as I come to the United States and go to the first class, the professor actually they didn't teach a lot. They only teach maybe 30 minutes, and after that, with the student they have a discussion, sometimes more than 1 hour. So the style of the class is totally different. Asian style is only the professor one-way teaching. He actually deliver the lecture the whole time. But in United States, no. The student raise a lot of questions, and even student they exchange their opinion. So research paper means you should have your opinion. And after that, you should academically prove about your opinion. Because of that, you need a lot of support. You need a lot of material, including books and articles. Assignment clarification. So there is, when you start your class, actually the professor give you the syllabus. When you read the syllabus, there is some actually mention about term paper, academic report. So how to write it? Number one, read the assignment sheet carefully. Try to read the syllabus carefully. Okay, there is some mention. Number two, underline directional statement. Define, identify, analyze, argue, etc. So when the syllabus actually talking about your term paper, you must recognize, you must see this one. Okay. Number three, underline due date. So yeah. For now, we are starting actually fall semester. Semester. Usually it takes maybe around 3 or 4 months. Okay, 3 or 4 months. Within that time, you should write it down. For your master degree thesis, maybe you can get the chance around 6 months. For the PhD students, it takes, as I said, minimum around 2 years. Around 2 years. Number four, identify evaluation criteria. Number five, ask questions. So if you have you cannot figure it out, you can ask to your professor. What is this meaning? What should I write it down? You must ask a question to your professor if you don't know. Okay, clarification is the first actually stage of research paper process. Number two, time management. Usually in one actually semester, within one semester, one full semester, you must writing your academic research paper. So it is usually 3 months. As I said, PhD dissertation maximum around 3 years. So write down all due date. So open your calendar, and when it is due date, you should start that. Number two, break down the research process into steps. So in order to writing a paper, definitely you should figure out a topic, and you must go to a library, and you start reading the article and books and draft, and after that finish it, your research paper and send it to your professor. Number three, assign a due date for each step. Number four, make weekly and daily priority list. So in order to actually making a good research paper, actually you actually manage your time well, because there is due date. So you cannot write it down only one line. Okay, that's impossible. If you copy or if you summarize something, maybe it takes only 1 week. But as I said, the way of writing research paper in United States, you need your opinion and you must prove it academically. So you need some other books and articles. That's why it requires a lot of time. That's why you should keep your time management. Number three, topic selection. This is one of the difficult one. Okay, in order to select your topic, the rule is number one is previous knowledge. Do I know this area? So when you're writing it, if you don't know anything about that, don't try to write it, because it requires a lot of time. So when you receive your research paper, how to write it, if you have a previous knowledge, it's better. Okay, if you know already read a lot of book in that part, that's gonna be very good to you. Okay. Number two, course content. Sometimes when I teach one example, this looks like a little bit theological course classes. So one day actually I'm teaching about early church history, but unfortunately the student gave me the modern church history paper. That's nonsense. I'm teaching early church history, but why the student writing modern church history? That's nonsense. So you should focus on, okay? You should follow up. You should understand the course. Number 3, personal or professional experience and interest. So usually whenever the student actually request some uh, counseling with me, especially what kind of job should I have, at the time, usually my first recommendation is, what do you like? If you like that, try to find that job, okay? Even I have 2 sons, and when they choose their major in the university, I strongly recommend, I don't recommend that you should be a lawyer, you should be a medical doctor, like most Asian parents. I actually, I didn't recommend that. Just I ask to my sons, what do you like? You like it? You choose that major. So that's why when you actually writing a research paper, if you have any personal interest in it, you should choose it. Number 4, choosing your topic. And finally, you choose one topic, one specific topic. And after that, now you're going to the brainstorm. Brainstorm means you open your paper and you start writing. And there is 5 W and 1 H. You already know about that. Journalist question. Who, what, where, when, why. Who is the main figure? Okay? Who is the main person? And what is it similar to or different from? And what are the causes? What are the consequences? What is the essential function? What are the definitions? So you should open your paper and you start writing question. Because even though you choose some specific person, actually my major is church history, actually. Throughout the whole church history, one of the most important figure is, one of them is maybe Martin Luther. So who is the main figure in Reformation? Martin Luther. So what is similar to or different from? What actually, in what point actually he different from the Catholic Church? So you can raise a lot of questions, okay? So you should follow who, what, and where. Where did it happen? How did it happen? Why did it happen? When did it happen? What is my personal reaction to it? So you raise a lot of questions, okay? Open your paper, and the brainstorming means you can write down everything and identify subtopic. One example, Martin Luther, he is a reformer. Because of him, actually, Protestant church was born. But even though you choose Martin Luther, you cannot writing all everything about him. That's impossible. You should write more than 10 books when you choose Martin Luther. So what should you do? You should narrow your topic, okay? What is his view about the Bible? Or what is his view about Catholic Church? You should narrow your topic. So you choose topic, little bit you choose also subtopic. So topic selection, brothers. You may need to start broad, and in your search take you narrower, okay? You only writing 5 or 15 pages, okay? You should narrow your topic. Focus on specific person, type, or crisis. So you should not, I will deal with whole Americans. That's impossible. You cannot meet, okay, all of Americans. California, even California, you cannot actually choose all the person in California. Maybe Orange County. You cannot also deal with all the person in Orange County. Maybe actually our university is located in, for example, in Fullerton. Maybe you should narrow your area, your person. Focus on particular place or religion. not the world, okay, not the USA. You should actually focus on specific place, specific region, focusing on certain time period. You cannot deal with the whole history of a human being, millions years ago, okay? You only limited the time. Maybe I'm going to focusing on 1930s, like that, okay? Very short time period, focusing on also certain aspect. Example is a social aspect, legal aspect, medical aspect, ethical aspect, biological aspect, psychological aspect, economical aspect, political aspect. So you are studying in theology, maybe theological aspect. If you study in business, maybe you may write down business aspect. So whenever there is some topic, there are so many actually aspects. So you should choose one perspective when you're writing a research paper. Thesis myth is that sometimes many students try to write everything from the beginning to the end. They try to writing everything. That's not a research paper, okay? Some also students try to writing a book. Even though I'm teaching about research and writing in many universities, actually many students actually try to writing a book. No, you cannot. It takes, for you to writing one book, it takes maybe 2 or 3 years, okay? You cannot. But now we are focusing on only 5 to 15 pages research paper. So you cannot writing everything. You cannot writing a book, okay? Only 15 pages. You should only show one actually theme, actually one your opinion. You should prove that. That's gonna be academic research paper. So that's why narrowing your topic, focusing on specific, gender, age, occupation, ethnicity, nationality, educational attainment, etc. Especially we are living in California. For the ethnic group, there are actually white Americans, African Americans, Mexicans, and Asians. So there are also many Asians, okay? Some people coming from China, some people come from Japan, some people coming Vietnam, some people coming from South Korea. So every ethnic group has a different perspective. So you should focusing on specific group. Originality. Choose a topic that will allow you to contribute to the field rather than just regurgitate. It looks like a summarize, okay? Summarize fact, okay? So you should not summarize. Summary is not a thesis. Summary is not research paper. Even when I teach about the book report, summary is not book report. 50% going to be summary, but 50% should be your evaluation. The paper is exactly the same, okay? You should show one specific perspective. Sources, on the other hand, also choose a topic that has a scholarly grounding. You cannot follow, you cannot base on cartoon, because cartoon is not academic material. You cannot rely on novel, fiction, okay? Because that's not academic books. Especially when you're focusing on some specific topic, you should need required actually some professional book, okay? Academic books. So that's why you need a library, because you don't have enough book in your home. So you visit the library, and there are a lot of actually academic books. Analyzing your topic, again, this is extremely important. But from this perspective, also many Asian students, they actually didn't narrowize their topic. They usually write broadly. American professors, they don't like it. They just consider it's a trash, okay? Review recent journals. So in order to actually writing a good research paper, you should read actually research paper a lot. Not the book, try to read some research paper. Apply your paper to your career goal, especially when you have some aim for some specific job. Actually, one of the best way is your paper, actually research paper, if it is related to your future career, that's gonna be more helpful to you, more beneficial to you. So library visit, you go to the library, follow the library, browse the library website. Even every university actually library, okay. And to the library, go to the library and pick up the book. Or if you don't get it, ask a librarian, meet with a reference librarian. Where is that book? Where is that specific book? You can ask a question. Librarian, they are very kind. They also have a very professional knowledge about the book. So that's why you ask to the library. Number 4, learn the difference between scholarly journal and other periodical. There are a lot of magazines in the library. Times is not scholarly journal, okay? In specific topic, there is a specific, actually scholarly academic journal. Number 5, locate the sources. That means you should bring that article, you should bring that material from the library to your house. Maybe you can borrow or you can copy. So it looks like Finding Nemo. Do you watch this movie? Yeah, father lost a son, and the father actually looking for the whole ocean in order to find his son fish, actually Nemo. Liking that. The how to writing a paper, how to finding the support reference is one of the extremely important one. You need a good book, you need a good academic book, and you need a good academic article. So no source, you don't have any source, you don't have any book, you don't have any article, you cannot write a research paper. So one of the example is that I'm interested in French Revolution. So where is the best book dealing with the French Revolution? You must go France and visit the library in France, okay? It's a long journey, okay? So that's why you should try to find your resources around you. So that's why you should choose a topic, best topic. You can find the resources. You can find the book. You can find the article around you, not far from you. Number 6, locate, select sources, copy. So actually, when I study in PhD program, the book is extremely expensive. English book is some book is more than $100. So if you purchase maybe 10 books, some academic books, sometimes it costs more than $1,000. So one day I actually decide to buy the copy machine. So that's why I select the sources. So if you have more than 100 books, including article on specific topic, this is maybe dealing with the PhD program. You are ready to write a thesis. You need 100 books. Survey sources, maybe for the master degree, you need 30 to around 50 books. Maybe for researching around 5 to 15 pages book report, maybe you need a minimum around 5 to 10 academic books. So sometimes, yeah, you need a copy machine. You cannot borrow all of the books. Maybe you can copy, okay? So actually, when I studied in the PhD program, at the time I was in New Jersey, and unfortunately I cannot find my material, so I must visit the Missouri. I took the airplane in order to find the material, so it was not easy processing. And as soon as I visit the archive in Missouri, and I start copying all the material what I need. Number 7, survey sources. So you go to library, try to read the abstract heading and survey heading. Number 2, make a note of chart, statistics, graphs. So when you're reading the actually books, actually when you read it, you cannot copy all of them. So you try to look at it and you need a copy, only some of the pages. Number 3, read the reference list. Reference means academic books. Number 4, read the introductory and the summary paragraph and the scheme body. That means when you go to the library, you can borrow 100 books. You may borrow maybe 3 or 5 books, but for other books, actually, you see the content, and you see the abstract, you see some chart, and maybe you can copy on the page. So you should select all of your sources. It is something like the bullet, okay? You go to the word some better, and you need the accurate bullet for your gun. So you should actually select a lot of bullet, and after that you can go to word, okay? Number 8, topic focus. Go back to your original subject, and the focus is further based upon the information you gleaned during the text survey activities. That means you try to focusing on your topic, narrow your topic and focus on that topic, and you already select your sources, you already getting a lot of books, and now you start reading, okay? You try to reading all the material. Read once and read right. Sometimes when you read the book or when you read the article, take a note as you read. That's called active reading. So sometimes when you're reading a book, maybe 300 or 500 pages, but if you do not taking any notes, when you finish the last page, you already forgot everything. So that's why when you read the book, I think this is very important. You can underlining, marking, or paraphrasing in the margin. So whenever I read the book, actually I underline, I marking. Sometimes make a circle, or sometimes I writing a lot in the margin. So when I finish the book, and only when I look at the underlining and some highlighting and some writing in the margin, it's gonna be very helpful to you. Reading sometimes takes more than 1 year. One example, you read 5 books. Sometimes it takes maybe 5 months. For the PhD program, you try to read more than 100 books. Sometimes reading the book takes more than 1 year. That's why you need a lot of material. You need a lot of books. You need a lot of articles. So after that, maybe preliminary thesis outline, draft paper, revised paper, source of help. I'm gonna actually explain about this one later. Today I will explain 9 steps, okay? 9 process of how to writing a research paper. Even though it looks like boring, but if you listen to me carefully, especially when you transfer any kinds of excellent university, my actually teaching going to a lot of help to you. So if you actually want to advance some kind of very good university in Los Angeles, maybe UCLA, UC San Diego, or UC Irvine, etc. If you actually want to study there, actually before going there, you must learn how to writing a research paper, and you try to starting writing a good paper. It's good for you in your future. Okay, today I'm gonna finish my lecture in here, and next time I'm teaching from 10 through 14 next time. Okay, thank you, and see you next time.